Mhm.
Hey, it is Monday, and you know what that means. It's IndyCar night on iRacing, but even better, the middle of Indianapolis season here on iRacing for the IndyCars. Hello again, everybody. I'm Gary Gatto, and welcome to Race First coverage of Round 10 of Season 2, 22 of the Monday Night Indy Fixed Stop Split, coming to you from the racing capital of the world, my hometown, Indianapolis, Indiana, and the world's most famous race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Always joining me in the booth for expert analysis from the NHR eSports team in the Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by Butt Kicker is Stephen Larkamp. So, Stephen, after tonight, we've made it almost halfway through the IndyCar oval season. Last weekend was a fixed 500 where we had just shy of like 2,800 people on the service participate, which is great. All this week is a fixed IndyCar Series 125, which is what I'm calling tonight, where we expect hundreds more to take their shot. So for the fixed setup, it was hot, slippery, and hard to pass. But today, the ambient temperature is the same. The track temperature is 17 degrees cooler. So for everyone who competed in the fixed 500 last weekend and who are racing tonight, how will the racing be different?
Well, obviously you'll have more grip to work with here, but that's going to be probably a little consolation to a lot of these guys here. The track temps, while the track temp is still fairly high, the nature of Indianapolis and the nature of the setup is going to be you're still going to have to wheel the car quite a bit to keep pace with the guys around you. You're going to have to work your throttle. You can't go flat out in the slipstream. It's still going to be very much Indianapolis. It's just going to be that little bit easier to work with. And that means I think the racing is going to be that little bit closer and that little bit more exciting in many ways. Indianapolis itself is always exciting, especially in the 500s. And I had some pretty exciting ones in the fixed 500 myself. But I think it's going to be that little bit closer with a shorter race format and more grip available. These drivers are going to be going for it that little bit more.
All right. Also joining me in the booth, all of us in the booth tonight, he's the weekend editor at jalopnik.com and the co-host of the Motorsport 101 podcast. He is also my co-host coming up here for Race First coverage of the Revolution IndyCar League's First IndyCar Series, which will be starting June 8th. Please welcome Ryan Eric King. Ryan, I've asked everyone else on the broadcast. Now it's your turn. What does Indy mean to you?
Ooh, history, tradition. Especially when you look at the record books here. One fact that I always love bringing up is being a New Yorker. I have to mention the New Yorker who has won this great event, the Italian-born but Brooklyn-raised Ralph De Palma, who's still second all-time for laps led at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, there you go. And there's somebody keeping track of the Italian power here in IndyCar history. That's cool. All right, so let's take a look here where we at with provisional time here. Get some times up on the screen here. Panero 229.291, followed by Eckert 229.061. Nick Sadiq, hey, we got a fourth broadcaster in this race, 229.0. Actually, not a fourth, but he's a third broadcaster, but kind of a fourth kind of race first member. Oh, and Miranda goes to the P2 here, 229.270. Nick Sadiq, 229.010. Borda, 228.968 with about a minute left here. Tracy did 228.881. Matt Houston, the boss man, 228.872. Looks like he's got himself a nice starting spot so far. Murphy, who is in a good spot in the points. We will talk about that later. 228.851. Dunham, 228.802. And Ragon, 228.789. We do see some other people here are still taking some laps and see if anybody else shoots the top with about 30 seconds left here in qualifications. So all the unofficial and official track records you need to know from Indianapolis. The unofficial single lap RA line dock 239.260 set in Fast Friday of 96. Official single lap 237 set by Ari Leyendijk just 2 days later. In the second day of quals in 96, 4-lap average, also held by Arline Dyke, 236.986 on day 2 of that same qual run there. The race official fastest lap, Eddie Cheever, 236 in the 96 500, driving for Team Menard with that Buick Lola, or Bernard Lola back in the day. And probably the only race record that we might possibly see change here in the upcoming future is the race record set last year by Elio Castroneves with a 190.960 miles per hour. Career wins leaders here, of course, are Foyt, Unser Sr., Mears, and Castroneves, each with 4. Franchitti, Myers, Rose, Rutherford, Shaw, and Bobby Unser each have 3. Your leading active drivers at the moment, Castroneves with 4, and Takuma Sato and Juan Montoya each with 2. Team Penske figuratively literally owns the Speedway, has amassed 18 wins between 13 different drivers. And, Penske Entertainment Group actually owns the Speedway. Stand by in the garage area. It's time to go racing. It's time to look at tonight's starting lineup. But before we do, you can help us to our drive to 1,000 subscribers. If you enjoy race first IndyCar coverage on iRacing, make sure you support us by smashing the like button below and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next race. We have a little more than 200 subscribers to go to get to the magical 1,000 mark, so please help us by smashing those buttons. We can't get there without you. Now let's get into it. Indy, now to tonight's starting lineup of, let's call it the Indy 125, is Stephen Larkamp.
And on the pole, Adriano Pinero, the polemeister, has done it once more, of 39.413. Mega fast lap there. Alongside him, only 4 1,000ths of a second off, is Bruno Miranda in the number 18. He won on the broadcast here last season. Can he go for a repeat? Rafael Eckert's number 23 starts third. Another great qualifying effort for him. Alongside him, Nicholas Sudik in the number 3 machine. And row number 3 is Fernando Borda in the number 9 machine, alongside the 2 of Jesper Orman, currently third in points. Trey Shadid starts 7th in his number 5 machine, alongside the boss man himself, Matt Houston, in the number 21, starting 8th. Mark Murphy, I should say, in the number 6, starts 9th. Alongside him, rounding out your top 10, will be Sean Dunham's number 7. Alexandre Ragon in the number 4 starts 11th, alongside Guerrero Encinas in the number 20. Cesar Cabral starts 13th in the 17 machine, alongside the 11 of Dakota DeMague. Adriano Fraporti's number 10 rolls off 15th, alongside in 16th position the 25 of Talon Smith. Stefano Calascabetta in the number 24 starts 17th, alongside the 13 of Jeff Hysong. Toby Soriano, my apologies on that one, in the number 12 starts 19th, and rounding out the top 20, the 15 of Justin the Commodore Dorr. Thomas Geisler starts 8th in the number 21, alongside the 14 of Stephen Lee. Matt Mercer and Marcio Baroni, 23rd and 24th, and shotgun on the field in 25th will be Luke Peters in the number 22. Every driver posted the qualifying time, and the margin from fastest to slowest is just 0.3 of a second.
Stephen Lee starting from the pits, everyone else underway.
Interesting call there from Stephen Lee, starting from pit road.
I don't blame him. It's a good strat. It's a good strat. It's worked for me.
It worked for me in the 500 before.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works in the 125s. But getting ready to roll down the back straightaway. Everyone getting themselves lined up. And I'm happy to say I've raced against a few of these guys in top and second split this past week in the fixed Indy 500. Let's see what they can do in a shorter race format here. I think it's going to be a lot more chippy early on here, especially with the better track temp to work with here.
And a slightly improved race setup, as I believe that's also what we're working with as well. I'm not sure if that carried over to the fixed series. I think it did. If that's the case, we should see some slightly, maybe some different racing we've seen before. Here we go, getting ready to call the opening lap for this fixed season, the Indy 125. Mr. Stephen Larkamp.
Waiting on Pinero to get his foot down. He goes for it. Green flag flies. We are underway at Indianapolis, and a great launch, of course, from Adriano Pinero. Bruno Miranda under pressure from Rafael Eckert, who looks to the outside into turn number 1. Side by side for P2. Can Eckert get the run? He has a bit of an edge going through the middle of the corner there. Everyone battling it out behind them and getting themselves into order, it seems. Still side by side later on in the field, but it is going to be Rafael Eckert who clears Miranda and sets his sights on Pinero heading into turn 3.
John Dunham
Pinero
with a big run
defending
down the inside.
low.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. John Dunham with a big run to the inside.
Oh, Eckert clipped the wall, I think.
Yep, right there with
Either that or he came insanely close. It looked like it was it for a second there, but iRacing's damage model decided otherwise. But it will be Pinero with a great lead coming across the line. And Miranda putting the pressure on Eckert. I think Eckert may have damaged his race car a little bit as Miranda goes down to the inside there. Eckert does clear him. Now he pulls off.
He is pulling off. And I believe we almost saw an incident between Matt Houston and Sean Dunham as they were in the North Short Chute. As Dunham slid up in front of Houston. Houston had to check up, but Houston on the start of this race up to P7.
Indeed, up to 7th place. Good start for Dunham, but heartbreak for Rafael Eckert. It'll be another freebie for Dunham. He started 10th. He's up to 6th at this point. But what a shame for Eckert. Just that little bit of an overdrive into turn number 3, and it cost him dearly. And Pinero has opened himself up to a 1.4 second lead over Miranda already as everyone's starting to get themselves into order. And I see, once again, Matt Houston putting the pressure on Dunham for 6th.
Yeah, he's going to try to want to get that position back. I don't think if we're going to check with him after the race, he's not going to be a fan of that particular move. He had to roll out of it big time.
I would imagine not. And we always seeing a little bit of a draft snake a little bit there. Dunham trying to throw Houston out of the slipstream a little bit. It's a bit early to be doing that at this point. Only starting lap number 4 here as Miranda chases down Pinero as they cross the line. And looking at the gap, Miranda did close up a little bit, but I think it's a little bit early to be making aggressive moves right now. And a lot of the guys seem to agree with me on that sentiment. We seem to be getting ourselves into order and getting ourselves into a rhythm, perhaps, as Trace Shadid starting to close up a little bit on Matt Houston off of 2. And maybe a little bit of thoughts on pit strategy as I see Ragon and Murphy going side by side behind them for 9th.
Yeah, because I think up front, the goal would be to, kind of ignore the snake, head in a straight line, try to get back in the toe.
Yeah, that's for sure. The more you move that wheel, the more it scrubs off speed. And I'm not a big fan of following the guy in front of me when they start doing that big snake, because I just rather keep it pointed straight with my momentum built up and not scrub off any speed. But yeah, you're right. Making a big difference on mileage here might impact where people begin to pit. Window opens up here right about lap 20.
Yeah, around lap 20 is the number we're looking for in this 50-lap race.
Whoa, 3 wide, 4 wide back for 17th, 18th, 19th.
And I saw Jeff Highsong. I heard over the radio he was not too happy with the actions of someone over there, and Calasabetta is not too happy with something else also. Yeah, but this battle is looking pretty chippy for the minor placing.
Yeah, he might have hit the wall up in the North Short Chute there. He's got Fraporti back on his 6 here, taking a look to the inside. I think Fraporti's going to be able to pull this pass off.
Oh,
he doesn't.
Calasabetta had to flinch a little bit there as Fraporti tried to stick it to the low side there. Fraporti has had a rough start so far, and now he's under pressure from, looks like Luke Peters in the 2022 looking to the inside.
Yeah, he's in the Red Bull livery for an IndyCar here. And then on the outside of Peters there's Matt Mercer. Right behind Mercer is Baroni.
And Mercer has had a rough qualifying run, and he's going to have to dig himself out of a big hole here tonight. As I see up ahead, Cesar Cabral and Garo. And he says,
and Cenas. There's a little. It wasn't Cabral, and Cenas got a little squirrely there. He gathered it. Kind of reminded me of Herta on the road course. He gathered it back up though, and he's still underway. But a small Code Brown moment there for Encinas.
Garo Encinas, that's got to be hairy for him. And the guy who actually raced with in second split on the big show on Saturday in the Indy 500, he actually won that race. And I got a top 10 result out of that. But that was a great save there by Encinas. Let's see if he can keep it together here.
Alan Smith.
And meanwhile, he's still got pressure from Jeff Highsong.
Yeah, Highsong is quickly approaching this group right now. He just got himself around Thomas Geisler, who's making a return visit here. Haven't seen him in a while. Welcome back, Tommy G.
Great to see him back for sure. Started 21st, currently up to 17th, so a decent start for him so far. But I'm keeping an eye on the timing sheets for the lead battle right now. Miranda has closed the gap. It's within a second right now, but is not quite close enough to be particularly enthralling. He is faster at the moment.
Yeah, he was faster by a tenth, and of course we got the fan club here sitting in chat. And then I do want to shout out that Callum Islet, he actually had a pretty decent Indy GP until he had to go off-roading a couple times to really, I don't think any fault of his own, but a lot of people went off-roading as soon as that rain hit. But good showing for the Yukos Hollinger racing team there. Single car effort held up against the big boys pretty tough at the Indy GP. Renner Miranda driving there for their eSports team, P2 at the moment, being tracked down by our man on the Friday IIS broadcast, my sidekick, Nick Sudik.
Sudik looks like he is closing up. He's about a 10th up there in Miranda. Ooh, drifts up a bit high there off of turn number 2.
Well, let's watch him again here in 3 and 4. Is he going to go high again? Is the high side open for business? Or did he just happen to get a big, massive push? Might have been a push. We'll see. Oh, high side in 3 and 4 looks a little open right now.
Well, the interesting thing about that is in the 500, I was actually able to use a higher line to decent effect, and it was once again that game of find the clean air around you, and you could run a slightly higher line to get yourself some momentum in the middle of the corner and give yourself some forward bite. So I would not discount the possibility of that.
Turn 2, I believe. He needs to get off the track here before we go yellow.
Oh, does he? Oh,
he gets off.
Yes,
So
he
yes, he gets off.
Another car's off in the short shoot.
Talon Smith is around in turn number 2.
And that is going to be a yellow.
12th place runner right there. And I think looking at it, yeah, he just brushed the wall slightly on the exit of 1, and it sent him spearing into the inside wall and back up onto the track.
Yeah, let's take a look at each one of these real quick. And then the guy really needed this one was Stephen Lee. Of course, he didn't get the early caution that he wanted by starting from the pits. Here is Talon Smith entering turn 1. And he not quite down to the white line. Looks like he got washed up there in Dakota DeMade's arrow push. Woo, and Cena's lucky again. Almost gets taken out on the rebound. But that is day done for Talon Smith. Now let's take a look at Luke Peters, see what happened to him. He was on, I believe, the north end of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Oh, he had contact with Marcio Baroni. So here comes Baroni, has a draft, pulls out, I think kind of late, but it's still good. To the inside. And you know what, let's give this one another look just real quick. I don't want to say if there was any contact we might be looking at. Netcode. And let's get on board on Baroni here, and let's take a look at the right front. Got here. Oh, there is contact. All right, chat.
Indeed, there is.
At chat, you get to make a decision on that one. The car snaps back into place for Baroni. Pretty lucky there. He's still going to stop and probably get that looked at. But chat, make your call. Just like the old days in the '80s, where IBM used to, they used to have the computer, the commercials where it said IBM, you make the call. Well, you guys, you get to make the call. Whose fault was that accident?
Indeed, and keeping an eye on pit strategy here. A lot of leaders stayed out, but quite a few behind them have come in. I believe
Cesar Cabral is leading that effort to come on the pit road. So 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th on back. All these guys are making stops. Still early to go the distance. Still early. So they're banking on some more yellow. A lot more yellow. At least 7 more laps of yellow somewhere in there to make the distance. But Isong stayed on pit road very quickly, though. Might have just had a splash and go. I'm looking at his time on his pit stop, 5.2 in the box. So that might have just been a splash and go. Everyone else was in the 8-second bracket. Stephen Lee made up some major time there. I think he just splashed as well. I would imagine Stephen's tires probably aren't as well worn, being that he was running in clean air pretty much unmolested for that entire first 12, 13 lap stint there. So he could probably forego the tire change. But we will see how that boils out for him, as now the field is all rejoining on the backstretch, and we are now circulating under caution behind the pace car. Well, what do we think on these strategies so far? Everybody from 15th on back, they still have to stop again or save a ton of fuel.
Well, based on what you said about, assuming that a lot of people took a splash and go, that might be the good strategy to keep that fresh set of tires just in case you choose to pit later on.
It could well be from a tire standpoint, though I would have to question it from a fuel standpoint because there's a lot of variables that would need to fall in their favor for it to work out properly. And the biggest one, of course, is we get a pretty much a wreck fest of a race from here on out. So it leads me to wonder what really, and it leads me to wonder if it will work properly. Han Solo like to say, never tell me the odds, but I kind of would be C-3PO in that regard, and the odds are not exactly in your favor on that one.
Of course, we already had May the 4th, and I guess in celebration of Obi-Wan coming out here soon, we'll go ahead and accept that answer. Here are the current full field stats at the moment. Your purple lap is the Bruno fan club can cheer for this one. A 40.9, his fastest lap at the moment. Looks like he might be the only car in the 42nd neighborhood. Let's take a look at speeds as they hit the line. Yeah, 220.7 is his fastest lap. Sudik 220.728. Orman 220.719, and then there was a 7.0. Those are the only three drivers. Smith down in 23rd, also in the 220 bracket, but everyone else in the 219 or 218 or less bracket.
Perhaps I can say, getting back to a little bit of a Star Wars pun here, if General Grievous were to make a statement on Cabral's strategy, he is a bold one. But very much so, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if that will work in their favor. I think it's a bit of a stretch, but we'll see as we come to green, starting lap 15 here. Pinero bringing them to the line once more, waiting on that pace car to peel off. Waiting. Now he gets on it. Miranda follows through. Green flag flies. Nicholas Sudik under pressure from Jesper Orman for P3 behind him, but Pinero out to a good lead. Can Miranda stay with him? And here comes Orman and taking a peek to the outside, not quite there yet. And Sean Dunham battling it out with Fernando Borda for P5, and Matt Houston's looking to get a piece of the action as well.
Yeah, they're going to go 3 wide, possibly going into 3. We'll see. They're going single file, down low, down near the grass there.
Oh, and 3 wide behind them almost, going into 3 behind them in the back of the top 10. Not quite enough, though, as Alexandre Regon and Mark Murphy battling it out side by side there. Regon looking to the high side off of 4, and now he looks to the low side down the straightaway. But looking at that lead battle, Miranda has stayed with him. Jesper Orman also staying fairly close as well. This battle could well stick for quite a while, I think.
Yeah, we missed that pass from Orman around Sudik. Orman is now up to P2. Of course, we mentioned in earlier in the show, Orman P3 in the Division 1 championship standings. It's Pinero, Franzoni, Orman, Regon, and Murphy. That's your top 5 of the championship standings. A couple of those guys are in this race already and showing well. This is just a standard race on the schedule for these guys. No double points or anything. So, but they still want to do well because Pinero just kind of running away right now with like a 300-point lead up front. So the better they do than stay in relation to Pinero, the closer they can keep this championship.
And especially since this was likely to be one of the biggest points races on offer, given the high-rated drivers that have turned out tonight in droves, and really the amount of people that have signed up for this race. I believe you said that there are, 5 splits more? Like more than that, something to that effect.
Yeah, heading into this race session, there were 125 people registered.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we
Huge
had
turn.
Yeah, I think we had like 10 splits, something like that. I can look. Yeah, a good showing, and of course it does happen. Good momentum. This happens to be Indy week, and then last week, of course, starting Friday was the fixed 500 weekend. Then all this week is the fixed Indy Series 125 miler here, the 50 lapper for the fixed series all week long to next Monday. And then this weekend, the Open Indy 500. So the Open elite pilots there will take their setups and measure them up against everybody else. and they'll have 4 more of those races this weekend. Of course, all this will be wrapped up when the IIS has their 375 here on the Friday before. Or actually, it would be Carb Day. That's. Of course, I live in Indianapolis, so that's what Friday is before race day for me. It's Carb Day. Oh, Bruno Miranda sliding up near the wall in turn 2. Keeps it off it, though. Keeps going, but still opening the door for Jesper Orman. Jesper just 0.5 back. Miranda 1 1/10 back from Pinero. Most everyone in the top 10 keeping everybody in distance and everything in front of them right now. But yeah, the Friday before we'll be showing right here on RaceVerse the IIS Indianapolis 375, which is 150 laps here, and that is also open setup. So a lot more Indy racing to go. If you like watching IndyCars at Indianapolis in the virtual sense, then you just want to subscribe, like, share, all the 9 yards right here to this channel here on RaceVerse, and we will make sure that we will scratch that itch of yours.
I'll definitely say that after all these weeks, our itch of Indianapolis will well and truly be stretched, and it'll be kind of a send-off for the old version of Indianapolis as well, because I have heard through the grapevine that indeed the new scan of Indianapolis is on the way, and that the reason that it wasn't out yet was because iRacing wanted to hold back on it because a lot of the big teams were already working on their Indianapolis setups. So they didn't want to throw that wrench in there and throw everything out of whack just for the sake of releasing the new track right away.
Ryan, we're going to accept that.
I mean, from a bystander standpoint, I would have loved if it came out. We would have gotten a really crazy iRacing 500 out of it.
I want to say, are we going to accept that answer, knowing that if NASCAR came here, we would have a NASCAR setup and everything on time?
Yeah.
Let's be real now.
Yeah, that may be the classic sense of it's funny because it's true.
Jake Riles here in chat. Anyone here from Indy? Else here from Indy? Yep, you'll be in turn 3. That's actually when I first started getting my my regular tickets renewed. They started in turn 3 and then eventually moved to turn 4. But yeah, that's kind of where I started on the main grandstand just outside of turn 3, as where we started moved to turn 4, and then we kind of let our ticket membership lapse after a while because it does get kind of expensive and priorities change. But it's great to see all the excitement surrounding the Speedway and everybody coming to Indianapolis this year. There's 135,000 people last year, and that was pretty exciting. And Jesper Orman's hitting pit road along with Nick Sudik. And Nick really makes up the lost distance there coming in to the cone there. But it's good to see all the excitement of people from all around the world heading to Indianapolis this May. I know a couple of teammates, but I think one here in the chat. I think Antonio will be here. I know some of the guys from the Nikki Racing team will be here as well. So bring it on. It's going to be one big party. So here we see the cars of Nick Sudik and Jesper Orman hitting their pit stalls. And right on spot, let's see, on the race out, it's going to be Jesper. And let's look at those numbers in the box.
Leader's in.
Yeah, leader is in. Take a look here. Bruno Miranda is going to stay out, but I think I'm wondering if Pinero noticed that 2 stopped at the same time, and he's like, I want to do it now. Oh, did he hit the wall coming down pit road?
It looked incredibly close.
Let's go ahead. We got a second. We'll take a look at that.
May have been a... If that...
You tell me.
I think there was a tiny bit of a touch there, looking at it from the onboard perspective.
There was contact. At least it made the contact sound. I don't know if he wasn't paying attention or something, but he rubbed the wall on pit road coming to his stall.
May have been just that... may have been trying to sort something out in the cockpit right now. We don't normally see Pinero make an error. It didn't look like something too serious, though, so it looks like he might be able to get away with it. He pulls out a pit lane right in front of, I see Jesper Orman and Nicholas Sudik behind him.
At Bruno Miranda and the Commodore on pit road at the moment, also along with Alexander Aragon. And Sean Dunham is currently your leader, followed by Borda, Shadid, and Dakota the Maid. Something happened to Matt Houston. I think he pitted. And yeah, he pitted just now, 3 laps ago. So I was wondering where he went. We didn't see him hit pit road, but the boss man is currently making up ground now as he passes Door on the pit out, moves himself up to 17th. Dunham is still your leader, though.
At this point, everyone that's come in already, they've gotten all the bases covered at this point as we are at the halfway mark of this race. Pinero right now down in 17th on the timing sheets that, of course, be updated. But looking at everything right now, as Pinero is being scored 13th on this lap, but Adriano Pinero, Jesper Orman, Nicholas Sudik, and Bruno Miranda, they're good to go to the end. And if a caution comes out now, it really is no real effect on them because everyone else in front of them has to pit as well. So it's really going to be up to these guys. Will the strategy of going long work out in their favor, perhaps? And that will largely boil down to, please, oh please, do not have a caution right now.
Well, and yeah, we're looking at that, and there's a number. Once Dunham, Borda, and DeMade make their stops here, which probably you'll see in the next 3 to 5 laps, the lead could be picked up by Thomas Geisler, and there he is in 4th spot, and he is pretty much by himself. He stopped on lap 14. John Dunham on pit road right now, but Geisler might inherit the lead, and right now, everybody behind him all the way to Pinero is on that alternate strategy, and now they're hoping for cautions. Lots of them.
Plenty of them is what they're hoping for here. Sean Dunham now on pit road. Down and away once more. Lights up the rears on his way out. See where he comes out. It's Fernando Borda who takes over the race lead on lap 28. Now he comes in.
So here comes Dakota. He is going to take another lap. He has managed to conserve another lap of fuel.
Well, we're working lap 29 here. I'd imagine the longest these guys will probably go will be about 32 to 33, somewhere in that area, if they fuel saved enough. The big question mark here, though, is, of course, the traffic is a big concern, and also the tire wear that comes from the traffic. With the guys that have already pitted, they've taken fresh rubber, so they're able to put down some very, very good lap times and maybe eke out even more of a gap than they already have, especially if we go green the whole way. Dakota keeps going. Geisler staying out as well, seeing if anybody else has come in. Not quite yet.
If you're just joining us, this is Race First coverage of the iRacing Monday night Indy 6 Top Split, coming to you from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We completed now 30 of 50 laps. Dakota the Maid is your current leader right now, as he's probably looking to come to pit road anytime in the next handful of laps. He has himself a bit of about a 2.5 second, 2.6 second lead over his teammate Thomas Geisler, and he is going to go one more.
Still going to keep it going here, working lap 31 right now. Of course, the caution has helped for fuel saving in DeMade and Geisler's cases here. And Geisler, of course, pitted earlier.
Yeah, it's really, it's helped Dakota extend this it past the 30 mark. So ultimately, he's been sitting back there, probably coasting, probably turned it back to engine map, pick a number, anything 5, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there.
Dunham's coming back on the pit road.
Don Dunham coming to pit road. Well, and we'll take a look here because this might be Dakota's in lap. We're taking a look here. Nope. Dakota staying on.
I'm not sure what happened, though, because Dunham already pitted. Something must have happened to Dunham here.
Reporty pitting. We have he's going to go for service now.
Oh, that was a hairy moment in front of Dakota DeMay. That was Toby Soriano getting wicked loose there in the middle of 2. He saved it. That was a scary moment for sure.
Let's rewind the time, go back machine here, and let's check this out real quick and see what happened. Expecting Dakota here to pit
the wall in the short shoot.
Yeah, that's not what Dakota wants to see. He's already working on sketch tires. Dakota manages to make his way around. And it looks like Toby making the turn to pit road to probably get his car looked at. Dakota, one more lap, 33-lap stint.
33 laps right now for Dakota DeMay. This has been a pretty good fuel run here. The question I have with all of this right now, of course, that little bobble there when dealing with Soriano getting loose in front of him, that didn't exactly help his cause. But the question I have here is, will this clean air help his cause a bit here? His last laps were in the 42.2s. Pinero was a 42.1 that last lap. Now he comes in.
Now he comes in, and we will see where he comes out in relation to all those that are on the primary strategy right now. He is going to have the short fill, so we will see how that works for him. That does turn the lead over to his teammate, Thomas Geisler, making his first appearance in a long time here in the top split. And he is working his way through corner number 2, right there next to the Riley Children's Hospital Suites down the back straight. Working his way up into the turn 3 grandstand area, right along the north side of the track. See where Dakota pops out here. Dakota is down and away, and he is now off pit road, off the button, and he is going to fall back behind Mark Murphy for P14. So he's going to probably slot back into 15th spot here and in a battle with Alexander Ragon. Although, and Ragon is going to pass him, but Dakota is going to have the fresher tires ultimately. It's all said and done with. So we will see.
Come around off of 2. Trying to pick out who that was. Oh, and he's...
I got Stephen Lee on pit road. I'm not sure who that is. Is that...
Trying to see...
Stefano? Is Stefiano?
Yes, Stefiano.
Was that, wow, yeah. Stefano Calasabetta, who was running P2 at that time.
Stefano, yeah.
Loops it around. Oh, that was kind of sketchy, bringing it back up on track here, and he is blinking majorly right now.
Yeah, we are in his in-car. I don't think he hits anything. Just very simply getting loose on exit. Manages not to get picked up by anybody else, although Cabral had to really miss. Let's jump into Cabral's car real quick. You'll want to check this out. You'll like this replay of Cabral making evasive action here. Let's
have
go back.
A look at this.
Go back in the Payback machine here.
So he sees, you can see Calasabetta in front of him there, has to take, whoa, look at that evasive maneuver to try and avoid that.
Yeah, we went about a half lap back just to see here, kind of, because he really didn't expect it. I mean, he might have saw that it was going caution, but didn't know where. There he is, kind of going in 2. That's for 40 right in front of him. Car's already sideways. The car's already sideways and now coming to a standstill off corner number 2. Here it comes back up, and I'm going to go to the inside and get back. Okay. And very, very, without a lot of jerking the wheel, because I think if he jerked the wheel a lot, that might have ended up putting him in the wall as well. Very smoothly gets himself back on the course. But this is the caution that these top guys really want.
Indeed, it is, but Geisler is on pit road regardless. Cesar Cabral has stayed out. Matt Mercer in as well. And Garo Encinas has stayed out.
Though one thing that's worth mentioning is just before the caution came out, Stephen Lee was coming down pit road. And because of the gap between the start of the pit wall and the entry cones, the pit lane actually closed as he was roughly within a car length of the actual entry.
Oh, that is brutal. And iRacing system, of course, has no sort of, it's really black and white when it comes to what you do and what you don't do. So unfortunately, that will be a penalty for Stephen Lee. Through no fault of his own, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So right now, what we have a situation on the racetrack, we have Baroni, who is the first car right behind the pace car right there. We'll get the camera on him. There he is. Then we have Toby Soriano, who is right there behind Baroni, and he's also a lap down, multiple lap down. And then we have Fraporti, also a lap down, or actually just not on the lead lap. But the reason why I'm saying this is 19th, 20th, and 21st, not all in specifically that order. These guys are going to get the wave around here momentarily when it's about 2 to green. So this is how IndyCar rules work. We do not have a lucky dog here. No gimmicks, nothing like that. No green, white checker, no double file restarts. We decided pretty much on the track. And the one thing they decided, the best way to decide it on the track is to let the leader control the restarts when they go back to green. So what's going to happen here is that Baroni, Fraporti, and Soriano all going to get a wave around where they could then, right now, here you see them, they're going around the pace car. They will rejoin the tail end of the field. The pace car will pick up Cesar Cabral. Cabral will be your leader. He will get to control the restart the next time they come around to take the green. And he is, Cabral is 25 laps into his current stint. I don't really know how he's going to save enough fuel to get the 50, but I think he's banking on cautions breeding cautions because he needs a lot of that right now.
That was certainly the thing I was talking about before. It's going to take more than just this one caution, I would wager, for the likes of Cesar Cabral and Guerrero and Sainz to be able to make it to the end here. And worse still, they now have Pinero, Orman, Sudik, Miranda all breathing down their necks on this restart here. So these last 12 laps, they're going to be quite hectic, I would say. And Cabral and Sainz are going to be fighting for survival and praying for a yellow. We wait, getting ready to get ourselves into formation right now. And Sainz lagging behind a little bit here. I'm guessing he's really trying to save as much fuel as he possibly can under this caution up in fuel map 8.
Yeah, and if I was Cabral, I would close that. Okay, now they're shrinking everything back up. So Cabral and Sainz, Pinero, Orman, Sudik, your top 5, Miranda, Borda, Houston, Dorr, Murphy, your top 10. It's still anyone's ball game right now with just coming to the closing quarter here of this race, getting ready to go green. The field is under the command of Cesar Cabral. He's bringing him down slow, and there he goes. And now Pinero is going to want to get around and see this as soon as he can, but he has Jesper Orman right on his 6th.
Orman had a great launch there. Pinero was kind of caught out there by Sainz. Orman taking a peek to the low line there. I don't think he's going to be taking that anything serious. Now he looks again to the inside. He's got Sainz in front of him, though, and he has to wash up there off of turn number 2. But here comes Pinero. He's going to have a look at Sainz going into turn number 3. Let's see where he goes. He has a look to the low side now.
He pulls out late, but he goes ahead and pulls it off. And now he tries to run down Cabral. Now, does he need to run down Cabral? Especially if they don't go caution here in the next 5 laps or so. Should he just let Cabral have to pit on his own?
It's certainly possible as Jesper Orman clears Guerrero and Sainz for P3, and he sets his sights both on Cabral and Pinero in front of him for a possible win here tonight. That is one thing you can probably do here. You can wait Cabral out, especially if we don't get a yellow. The problem with that is you have Jesper Orman breathing down behind you. He's not going to care one way or the other because he knows that.
Turn 2.
Uh-oh. Trying to see who it is.
Justin Dorr. He was in the wall in turn 2. It looks like he cleared in time, but unfortunately his day is over. We're still green at the front, and it is Pinero just riding in the tire tracks right now at the moment of Cesar Cabral. Cabral probably needs to pit here within the next 3 to 5 laps.
Very unfortunate, I would think, for Cabral right now, especially with Pinero all over his 6. Orman, though, gets a great launch there. Pinero kind of had a rough go of it in the middle of 2. Let's see if he has a look to the low side. No, he looks to the high side this time. He has and gets his nose
alongside. That's a dangerous place to be.
Ooh.
That is a dangerous place to be.
Oh, isn't that sketchy right there? I
and-
speak from
and
experience on that.
and Jesper had the roll out of it going in the corner number 4. He was going to smack the wall. He's got lost a little bit of pace. And now here goes Pinero. He's like, I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to pass him. Even though Cabral has a stop here relatively shortly, he is going to pass anyways.
Yeah, you don't want to leave things up to chance.
Certainly not. All is fair and caution's out. Mark Murphy is in the wall, and I see another car with him.
Dakota DeMay looks like he has damage. We have Mark Murphy with damage.
Was that trying to pick out who that is? So it was Murphy, and I'm trying to pick out the car number on him right now. That is the 16 of Matt Mercer is also involved.
Yeah, watching Mercer right now on the replay.
Oh, and so there was another car involved in that one, and that is Alexandre Ragon. And so Ragon and Murphy were side by side off of 2. Oh, and Ragon just drifts up in front of him there. And actually, was that Dakota DeMay he hit? He did hit Dakota DeMay.
Yeah, that was Dakota DeMay as well. Let's get on the roll bar here. Mark Murphy on the outside here now. He's letting him go. He's letting him go. Nice high up and right into him. He just right on into him. I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that. And then Murphy Mercer nowhere to go. And then we also saw Dakota. Let's see what happened to him as well. I think Dakota was an innocent bystander as well.
Yeah,
and then we also probably want to look from the let's also look from the perspective of Thomas Geisler, who I think is the well, if you want to have a lucky dog here, I guess we can call him the lucky dog. He's not getting the lap back or anything, but he missed all that.
Oh, very lucky stuff there.
Okay, so now we're back to live pictures, and Cabral is going to, well, he's staying out.
He is staying out.
Interesting enough. So 8 laps to go. Interesting. I love the gamble. We've already established that we love this guy anyways. So I love the gamble here. That he's trying to put. You can see him lagging behind though. He is trying to save precious ounces of fuel. Let's maybe pop on to his in-car camera and see if we can't possibly hear him doing a lot of what Rossi did when he won the 500. A lot of clutching and coasting.
Yep, he's up in 6th gear right now, coasting around. Up in fuel map 8, I would presume, and it will save him about half a lap extra per lap. So Cabral was very much in fuel save mode. I'm pretty sure that pretty much since that caution came out, he was up in a mode like map 5 right now, which in terms of green flag fuel map settings, that is the one where you save the most fuel, is fuel map number 5. 6 and 7 are both basically fuel map 1, but with different throttle settings. But 5 is the one that I'm sure that the likes of Cabral and co were running here.
Yeah, he was coasting right there just a moment ago, so he is doing everything possible to try to make it to the finish here. And major props on this effort right here. Of course, he is the 17th ranked car in this split, so he is looking to make a lot of positive headway iRating wise when this is all said and done with, if he can pull this one off. Jesper Orman right behind him. He is the number 2 and number 3 cars in the split are right behind Cesar as they pursue the number 1 car of Adriano Pinero. So right now, you know, every March or so here in Indiana, they have Hoosier hysteria with the high schools, and definitely, if anyone's seen the movie Hoosiers, Indiana has a big love affair with the underdog and the team that has the longest odds to win. And right now, I got to say that if you like the underdog story, you need to be rooting for Cesar Cabral and sending all the positive thoughts his way, because right now he is going to try to pull this off by really extending this second stint well beyond much farther than what people thought that a lot of people could go, at least from the second stint. He is 32 laps into this stint right now. He pitted quite a while ago with a whole bunch of people, and those people are going to have to pit. I think all those people have stopped to pit again. With the exception of Encinas. Encinas pitted on lap 31. Actually, Encinas has farther to go than Cabral at the moment.
And Encinas...
Encinas is I think he's playing some games on the backstretch, trying to really coast now because...
yeah. Bit of fuel gamesmanship right now. We are 1 to green, and coming to the line, we'll have 5 laps to go. And I am definitely keeping an eye on Cesar Cabral right now. That tank has got to be running really close to the bottom, even with a lot of fuel saving right now. It'll be a great underdog story if he is able to make this work, Alexander Rossi style, like in 2016. But Adriano Pinheiro has the best seat in the house, no doubt about that. And with Cabral in fuel save mode, he knows that he's got a bit of a buffer to work with between him and Jesper Orman for the time being. Pace car peels off. We'll see how this goes. 5 more laps to go at Indy. Pinheiro back on the throttle. And a great launch, of course, for Pinheiro. Cabral having to take it easy in fuel save mode right now. Does that leave a gap for Jesper Orman to make a move? Not quite
Cabral
yet in turn number 1.
Cabral turn into turn 1. Got a little loose. And that's allowing Jesper Orman to get underneath him here. Side by side on the exit of 2. And that's going to allow Jesper Orman on by. He's going to get in the draft there of Adriano Pinheiro. And
here comes Sudik.
Cabral's not letting them go. Cabral's like, you know what? You got to earn this one, buddy. And he is sticking it out there big time. And now he's by. And now Sudik wants to do the same thing as they work their way down the front straight now on this first lap after the restart.
Sudik working that higher line on the exit of 4. Now he looks to the outside as Cabral goes down to defend. Sudik, again, working that high side there. Has been able to work for quite a few people. It works for Nicholas Sudik right now. He clears him for P number 3. Move Cabral back down to 4th. And now Bruno Miranda is going to be the next one to take a crack at it. But down the backstretch for Pinheiro. Can Orman do anything to catch up to him? We'll see. As we're coming to 3 laps to go. And does Cabral have enough? Coming to the stripe this time. Pinheiro over the line.
4 to go. Cabral not pulling down the pit. 41.7 that time by. He's just as fast as Bruno Miranda right now, so he might have turned up the wick and says, you know, I got it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
If he's comfortable with the fuel, that'll be amazing as we have 2.5 laps to go. Does Cesar Cabral really have enough fuel to make it to the end at this point? Bruno Miranda is still giving him a lot of heat, but behind Miranda, Fernando Borda is having a look in this battle for 5th. 2 laps to go, coming to the stripe for Pinheiro, though. Jesper Orman, about 0.8 of a second last time by. 7/10 this time.
Not being able to pull that one off. And I tell you what, Cabral is liking that one because that's going to occupy Borda just a little bit. And Miranda.
Keep fighting is what Cabral is saying in his helmet right now. Borda gets a launch off of 2. Does he have enough momentum to close up into turn number 3? I don't think it'll be enough quite yet. Oh, yes, he does. He has a peak to the low side, but again, it's not quite enough there at this point. As Pinheiro, off of 4, he'll take the white flag. 2.5 miles of Indianapolis to go for Adriano Pinheiro, who has put on another textbook performance here tonight. As Borda now, I see, looking to the inside of Miranda again for P5, and not quite enough. Miranda is able to make that top line work beautifully in the middle of 1.
So we're on
and
the
Cesar
last. We got the camera right here on Cabral. We are down the backstretch. Cesar Cabral has half a lap to go to make this. This will make it that distant 38 laps. Does he have enough juice to get to the end? We're going to see Pinheiro coming out of corner number 4. He's going to get the win. Jesper Orman weaving at P2. He's going to get P2. Sudik's going to get there, but here comes Cabral trying to defend the win. And he gets an improbable 4th place finish on a massive fuel save strategy, and he brings it home. And that deserves, hey, you know what, everybody, you know what? I don't care. That deserves big time thumbs up. Go ahead, give us thumbs up. That drive alone right there deserves a big time thumbs up. 38 laps on that final stint to bring the car home in 4th spot.
Beautifully done for Cesar Cabral. And the same can be said, of course, for both Adriano Pinero and Jesper Orman and Nicholas Sudik as well. The top three put in a spectacular drive, and Pinero once again showing why he has that 300-point lead in the championship, and it's only extended further after tonight as Pinero brings it to the yard of bricks, does a little burnout there, and may have dinged the front wing of his car in the process. In the meantime, I'm actually seeing a bit of an argument going on with regards to the incident with Alexandre Ragon, Mark Murphy, and Dakota DeMay and company.
Yeah, I would imagine
they are not happy with Ragon making that move.
Yeah, I would imagine that was. You know what? Cabral still has fuel to spare because he's doing donuts on the front straight.
Wow. If that ain't a sign of how good Cabral was tonight on the fuel save, I don't know what is.
He is still running. He's still running. We've switched to the in-car camera. He is still running. I imagine he's extremely happy right now. Extremely happy. Yep, he's gonna do more. Here's what it looks like from the perspective of the driver. Oh, he's done. He's done.
Now he runs out of fuel.
He is out of fuel. All right, let's go ahead and let's check the interview room. We might have at least two in there with Nick Sudik, yeah, and hopefully Nick Orman shows up because he, I'm sure he'll be a good chat there as well. Wait one more second here. We'll bring up Nick.
And nice to Jesper Orman as well.
Yeah. Let's Jesper made it in. Great. Let's go ahead and bring up Nick, who finished third. Come on up. Hey, Nick, not all bad in a day's worth of work, huh?
Yeah, I like this place.
We figured it out.
Pretty cool circuit. Would 10 out of 10 would rate 10 again.
Well, go ahead and tell us about your race. I mean, you were just up there the entire day. You were on a very similar fuel strategy with Jesper. I don't know if you planned that one or not, or if you just planned on following with him when he went in or what. But you guys pitted at the same time, came back out together, tried to track down Adriano, but Adriano just kind of has a touch that very few have around this place. And he also had the additional battle that he had to work around Cabral, which all you guys had to as well, but he had a master fuel strategy. We'll talk about that here in a second, but just tell us about your race.
Yeah, so I wanted to give Cesar a huge shout. That was a great strat. I was in Discord with Jeff Highsong, and I was like, there's no way they make it. And then we got the caution, and then I was like, oh, they still got to be saving. And then it just worked out perfectly for them. So yeah, it was very, very exciting for Cesar and was it Giro?
Yeah, and Cenas,
well?
He finished 7th, and he did 36 laps on the last stint.
Yeah, that was. Then Cesar did 38. God, wow, drivers of the day right there. Like, dead serious.
I think we came to that agreement.
Yeah. So, no. So Jesper and I had nothing planned. We did the Friday night Fix 500, the only one that I was able to do. And we ended up in a similar boat, so I just think we were on the same wavelength. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if you guys caught it on the broadcast, but the pit entry I had was probably the best super speedway
We saw
entry
it.
I've ever had in
We
my
saw
life.
it, yeah.
I would not have overtaken Bruno, because Bruno was giving me like a race against the clock, going in and coming out there. It just, everything kind of worked perfectly, and then I was just able to run the right lines, feed enough dirty air. The last caution kind of bailed me out because I overheated my right front because the tires just kind of fell off there.
Mhm.
Even after the heating cycle. But yeah, I it's gonna sound really, really hokey, but I was just kind of vibing. Like, honestly, God, just vibing, just running my own race and going from there.
Well, you know how this works. Go ahead and give you shout outs to anyone you want to, sponsors, friends, whatever, for a well earned P3 here.
Yeah, no, it's great. I don't get to run these weekday broadcast races a lot in any discipline I run or capacity. So thank Race First, thank y'all. Ryan, Steven, Gary, yourself for hosting this. Matt Houston for getting this gig going, of course, as well. Shout outs to the Ohio DDR and rhythm game community, of course, running on the side. My buddies at Turn 4 Racing that I was very happy to get a podium for. Team Watson Racing setups, of course, for a lot of those guys have been helping me out with being chill, having a good time, learning how to have fun with iRacing again, and then some road racing tips and whatnot as well too. So big shout out to Watson and company there. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Pretty cool group of people. And my dog Jordy, my partner Kelsey, yeah, and keep fighting for Ukraine as well too. Keep them in your hearts and thoughts and prayers if you are into that as well too. So
All right, well,
that's all I got.
congrats, P3, and we'll catch you here on the program next week for sure, because we got a one form or another. We have the Indy or IIS Open 375. You might be in the car, but we'll have you on the program one form or another, I'm sure, during that race. But congrats, celebrate tonight, and we'll catch you in a week or so.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring up P2 Jesper Orman. Hey Jesper, great finish. It kind of beats last week at Michigan, but you had a very strategic Indy 125 here. Managed to get out of the pits ahead of Nick. Kept him behind you pretty much all race long. Just couldn't get around Adriano for whatever reason, and then you got to kind of wonder where Cabral was storing all that extra fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. This week was much better than last week, of course. I don't know what happened last week. Let's forget that one. Yeah, starting P6. It's kind of a good qualifying run. Then I knew that okay, I'm gonna have to do something creative here in the pit, and we had a yellow come out with like 40 to go, and I decided to stay out. And then I decided to pit first with 30 to go. So I was hoping like, okay, maybe I'm gonna overtake one or two cars. I think I overtook Nick on the restart with 40 to go.
Yeah, you
that
did.
was
You
kind of
passed him.
lucky.
Yep, you passed
yeah,
him. Yep.
yeah. Actually, I was lucky there. He was unlucky because he was on the outside, and Adriano went a little bit high for some reason, and that gave Nick the dirty air. So he was a bit unlucky, to be fair. He should probably have finished second. I should have finished third. But okay. I did not know when Cesar pitted. I was assuming that he pitted with 40 to go because he was hoping for yellows. So I knew that anyway he's gonna have his tires is not gonna be that good. So I knew that in every restart I had a good chance to overtake him. And it was another guy. Don't remember who it was. I had to pass two cars to get up to second again. And I mean, Adriano, it's just a Brazilian too far. Yeah.
Yep. Well, go ahead and we got to make it a quick night here because a couple of us have Lionheart races later tonight. But great P2. I know you're very happy. I know you wanted the P1, but we'll get you on another P1 here on the program. I'm sure of it. Shout outs. Anyone to say hi to? Any sponsors, anything like that before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll take a P2. No, I mean, Indy Week is it finally here? We've all been waiting. I am so happy that our team we have a good setup, and we're confident that we're gonna get some great qualifying results. Or yeah, at least hoping. You never know. I'm just staring at the qualifying results now. I think Jacob Oster is P1 at the moment.
All right. Okay.
0.424. So I reckon that's going to be somewhere around the cutoff. We'll see. So.
All right. Well, congratulations on the P2. Good luck on quals. Indy, you know how it goes at Indy. Giveth, and then also Indy taketh away. Quick. So,
yeah.
Best of luck there. Just get into the race, make up some spots at the very least, and I trust you guys. Everybody at IAR will do well. But congratulations on the night. We'll see you next week, and I'm sure we'll talk before then. Congrats.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, guys. Thanks for broadcasting.
All right, so kind of a abbreviated victory lane, or at least interview sessions tonight. Fellas, starting with Steven, thoughts on tonight's race, and what we got going on next week is Legacy Phoenix.
Legacy Phoenix.
Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned before, Indy giveth, Indy taketh away. And I think in some ways, Indy was pretty generous in some regards here tonight, especially to the likes of Cesar Cabral and company. That was an amazing fuel save run that they made, and they deserve a Driver of the Day award for me on that one.
Yeah.
But Indy also showed that, yeah, it's difficult to pass here, but you can make a lot of interesting moves here at Indy, and the racing can be really good. And it's definitely going to be something it's something we've seen in the 500. It's something we'll see here tonight. And for all the stuff that we'll see, the Open Set Indy 500, the iRacing IndyCar Series, all those series are going to have fantastic weeks here at Indy, I'd wager. And moving on to Phoenix, of course, the Legacy Phoenix, it's gonna be quite a different ball game, I would think. If you thought overtaking was hard at Indianapolis, you ain't seen nothing until you tried it at Phoenix. But that could also mean as well that we've seen it before in leagues that you can make some aggressive moves there as well. So I think it's gonna be just as exciting.
Hey, Ryan, we see you next here on the program when we start RIL coverage here in just the start of June. But your thought on tonight and what you witnessed?
Oh man, it's always the same. It's always wonderful. It is the speedway, like a sacred stage of American speed. You always get moments, whether it be Cabral just going on a 38-lap stint or Panero just dominating this race. It's always fun to see racing here in Indianapolis.
All right, well that will do it. Let's go ahead. We have not done tonight's final standings. We do that right now, and then get on out of here. Your final results here from Indy Fix Top Split here, the 125. Adriano Panero kind of fortifies his position at the top of the Division 1 point standings and wins. Jesper Orman, he is in P3 in the standing, and Franzoni, so he is going to at least right now get closer. I don't know if he's going to pass Franzoni, but he will get closer, and certainly Jesper has fortified his third place in standings, because fourth place next to him is Alexander Aragon, and we saw the incident and kind of the I guess now it's a bit of a controversy with how he made that pass in turn one and ended up taking out about 4 cars as a result. But Jesper Orman, P2. Nick Sudik, he had a great run, and continuing his good luck of Indy Week. He had himself, I think, a top 5 in his split, and then has a top 3 here on the podium. So congrats to him. Cesar Cabral, what can be said? He had the drive of the day, and he finishes P4. Bruno Miranda, very quietly a P5, but a very consistent P5. So good luck to him and the Yukos Hollinger eSports team. Fernando Borda gets P6. Giro Encinas, he was the other one that had the extra large fuel tank as well. Congrats to him for doing, as last we checked, 36 laps, maybe 37 laps on his final stint. So top 10 for him. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't have been a top 10. So a great strategy call got him the absolute best finish that he could have got right there. Thomas Geisler's first return back for the Race First crew. Top 10 right there, finishing 8th. The boss man, Matt Houston, in the top 10 all day long, finishing 9th. Tracy did finishing 10th. Jeff Hysong 11th. Stefano, hopefully I don't say this too bad. Calasicabetta. Again, apologies. My name gets butchered all the time, Stefano. He finishes P12. Baroni, P13. Baroni was down towards the bottom a lot during this racing. He manages to get a top 15. That's a really good finish for him. Stephen Lee, same thing from starting from the pits, P14. Adriano Paporti finishing in 15th. Moving on to the next page, Serrano 16th, Mercer 17th or 18th, the May 19th, Murphy 20th. I imagine DeMade and Murphy are probably going to go want to get one of those later races in during the week to try to audit this particular finish. We're gone. Dunham, Smith, Peters, and Eckert making out the remainder of your 5-car. I think that's it. Let's get on out of here. I know myself and Ryan, we got some stuff to do after this. So,
As do I.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I have a practice race for the Lionheart IndyCar Series at Watkins Glen coming up.
That's right. They put you guys. Yeah, that's fine because I don't want any IndyCar guys racing speedways. I don't have to.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Indianapolis is Pinero, Orman, and Sudik. Join Steven and myself next week for Race First coverage of round 11 and the Monday Night Indy Fixed Top Split of Season 222 as we return to the Legacy Phoenix International Raceway, a.k.a. the proper Phoenix Raceway. Coverage begins 8:15 Eastern Time. That's 8:15 Eastern on YouTube at youtube.com/RaceFirst. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy. Require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you commercial-free coverage of the last 2 Fixed Indy seasons. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the Monday Night Indy Fixed Top Split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. Link is in the description, and donate to our Season 222 Monday Night Indy Fixed Top Split broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and making us a part of your Monday evenings each and every week. As you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so if you can't donate, you can help support Race First with the weekly grind by leaving a comment below and let us know what you thought of tonight's race. And the best thing you can do is, if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, smash the like button right there. Just the big thumbs up button. Just boom. That's all it takes. Snap it like that. That's all we appreciate. If you're new, click subscribe while I at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more Race versus iRacing programming. And that's as simple as that. Just subscribe button right next to it. Hit the bell. Say, hey, you want to see all of it. Right here, keep your browsers set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Race First, we know what Indy means. For business inquiries and learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com or follow us on Twitter. Here are all of our Twitter handles for the Monday Night Indy Fixed Top Split. And you have a Twitter there, Ryan. What is your Twitter?
Oh, it is my name verbatim, Ryan Eric King, Eric with a K.
There you go. Add him on Twitter. You see mine, and you also see Steven's as well. So for Stephen Larkamp, Ryan Eric King, everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gotson saying to all, good night. Thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and call us safe. Thanks again, everybody, and catch us next week back here on the program as we go to the proper Phoenix for the next race of the Monday Night Indy Fixed Top Split. Good night.